Any second.
Happy Friday, everyone. Here it's Greg Dixon and Roy DeCan for Total Traffic and Conversion. And we're going to have a little bit of a fun topic today. It's called Build Your Online Presence from 0 to 100 in 7 days. And we're putting it in the context of a launch, but really, I think we know people that have been online for 100 years almost, well, for a long time. And they almost have zero online presence. So maybe you might consider whether you need to relaunch your own business online. And the other thing, from a marketing point of view, you're launching everything every week anyway. So that's why the 7 days things. So if you pay attention to what we're going to suggest today and apply it, I think it can benefit in the long run. So um, for fun, just for fun here, we thought I made up. Well, it's kind of not totally fictional. My brothers and I we've had this, I don't know, momentary loss of sanity, and we're looking forward to lease some retail space in Merritt and start some kind of store. We're not quite sure what we're going to do, but one of the ones is a non-alcoholic liquor store, and we even drove an hour to go visit one. And basically, the idea is there. It's like any other place where you have beer and wine and spirits and liqueurs, but it's all non-alcoholic. And so I sort of say cocktails without the consequences. And so this is a bit of a trend. I don't know about your area. It's a bit of a trend here. There are lots of people like drinking stuff, but they're most of my friends are in some kind of 12-step program, or they've just decided that they don't want to drink anymore. And so we're going to go through this scenario. It says, okay, we've got somebody's like this Merritt liquor store, and it's going to launch in let's say in a week or two. So what can we do to launch this thing? And if you followed our broadcast before, we're not going to say anything particularly new here. It's just going to be because the recipe and the formula is really pretty similar. So I put a little bit of an overview here. Some kind of landing page, website, and then the mailing list is really important to build a mailing list, and then business profiles, social media, then YouTube, posting campaign, and paid boosts. So I'm going to start with the website. What I mean by that is it could be a single landing page, or in the liquor store thing, it's going to be about the store, and it could actually be quite a bit there. Eventually, it's going to have all the products featured and all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty straightforward. And I actually, this is where Roy and I have some shared expertise. Is you want to optimize these things for search engine optimization. So that means make sure you have good description for the website and landing page, a good image, and using the keywords that you want to search for. And Roy especially has a lot of expertise in building highly performing websites that Mr. Google likes, or Miss Google likes. So,
Yeah.
and maybe do you want to talk a little bit about that, Roy?
Yeah, Minnie and Mickey Google.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, each what you really want to do is what people come to your website for, or your social media sites, is basically for the keywords that are there. And the more keywords that you have that are on more than one application, really the better it is. Because what happens is you end up with an internet ID, essentially, so that no matter what your properties are, they're all part of the same database. So when somebody shows up on Facebook, it makes your presence stronger, whether your presence is mostly on Google or on LinkedIn or on YouTube or whatever. And if you're on all of those things and your keywords are similar, though they may be slightly different, but they're relevant to each other on each of those applications, that's when it's really strong. And the faster you can make this happen, and the more consistently you add to the essentially the scheme that you use to bring people in, the better it is. So it's really good to do something every day on at least one application. And within 7 days, you can accomplish an unbelievable amount. And I've got clients that have done exactly that. And I'm sure Greg does as well.
Yeah. And I got my next item here is a mailing list, which I think almost all successful marketers use their mailing list really well. So a lot of the activity, especially at first, is to get people to sign up for your mailing list and get in there. And so Roy and I use a platform called Kartra, which is good for collecting emails and also sending out sequences and broadcasts. So that's a really good tool. There are lots of other tools. That's the one we use. And the thing is, Roy, you were talking about Google business profiles. And I want to throw in, it's something we haven't done a lot, but I think we need to pay more attention to is Apple business profiles. So the whole idea here, and this is especially for a brick and mortar store that has a physical location, is you want to show up on Google Map and Apple Maps. So that's another area of your specialty. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, this is something that I've been doing for a dozen years, and it's so important for a local business. There may be nothing more important for a local business because it was designed originally by Google to be a way that a local business could actually make it onto page one for certain keywords. Because if it wasn't for the maps, it may be that a local business would never appear on page one because you've got all these big brands and they suck up most of and it's really a little different scenario now. You don't just have one page. You're on a phone. Your page just keeps going on and on. But the first 10 listings are the most important, and of the first 10, number 1, 2, and 3 are really critical. If you only have organic listings and you're not in line 1, 2, or 3, it's not going to work so well for you. But if you can get in a map, that's almost better than being on line 1.
Yeah, no, that's perfect because I use Google Maps and Apple Maps on my phone a lot, and it'll pop up that, and especially if you're looking for something like and non-alcoholic drinks,
That's right.
You'll show up in a few locations, which right now will be probably a specialty location, and maybe grocery stores will have small sections of that. So you show up on the map, right? I've discovered even Merritt's a little town. I've searched for things for fun, and I found out there are places that are here that I didn't know were here. So, yeah. And okay, so the other thing is you mentioned earlier about social media platforms. We have a bit of a bias towards LinkedIn, and because it's business oriented, and we use it as an anchor with our clients. The first thing we do is we create a LinkedIn group so we can communicate, and then a Google Drive folder to keep track of everything. So that's how we work with clients. And more things like My Most Trusted. There are lots of tools now optimized for using LinkedIn, and you have some experience searching for certain keywords and things on LinkedIn. So that's a big item. Facebook is pretty big. And one thing I would have to say about Facebook is I've had quite a lot of success launching, say, a concert production or something, because I can create a dedicated Facebook page or Facebook group, run a couple of posts, and then pay even like $40 can get that page, which is about 2 hours old, liked by thousands of people. Like that's nothing really can beat it. So the more social media platforms, you should probably include quite a few. I put stuff out on Instagram, but I must confess I haven't really spent a lot of time figuring out how to work it. And there's some people that explicit, just almost that's the only thing they do is Instagram. They do the other ones, but they put so whatever wherever your people are, and for various reasons, some people can have a lot of success on TikTok. There's kind of some things going out. They don't want to do it because it's a Chinese company, but it's maybe not even a Chinese company. Maybe it's from Singapore. But anyway, but it's one of these places where a couple of posts can absolutely go viral. So it's one of the main thing here is we're going to take a message and we're going to put it out in many different places, and the ones where you get some traffic, people are responding to your things on Facebook, then you can pour some gasoline on the fire, put in more money for paid advertising and get it to go wider. The next thing on our list is YouTube, and YouTube, for one, it's video oriented. If you have your business has anything sort of like how to make money in the stock market, how to, make your curly hair straight, whatever it is, there's that people go to YouTube for that kind of thing. And it's also a tremendous marketing platform. And it's also an advertising platform. I've responded to ads I've seen on YouTube and almost bought things. So that's another place. And I guess the other place is some people say Google's the number one search engine and then YouTube is the number two search engine. They're both owned by Google. And if you've got a presence on both, you can dominate the searches a long way.
Yeah, if you're talking about non-alcoholic drinks, it could be how to make a non-alcoholic drink that tastes like an alcoholic drink. Yeah. And you could even do one type of a drink at a time. And this will draw people in, get them to know you. And if they're specifically in your area, then, it just brings them right to your door. Yep. So you can do it that way. You could do a lot with this how-to thing.
Yeah, pretty much. Like you could post a recipe a day, right? How to mix things, or, a new product, feature a new product every day. All sorts. There's lots of opportunity, which that brings us to the next one is the posting campaign. You and I have both said, you just do everything regularly. Our little premise here was build your online presence from 0 to 107 days. Part of that is to write. For one, the very first thing is to make sure your landing page has the message correct, and make sure you've got the keywords and stuff, and a place for people to sign up or buy something or whatever it is you're doing. But then you can put out 7 posts, one a day for 7 days, using all these platforms, blog post, putting it out by email, put it out to each of the social media things, put it on YouTube. And if you do that for 7 days, you will, when people start searching for you online, you'll show up in the maps, and you also have pretty good presence. With the 7th thing could be, what goes in there. You could have a case study about a successful client, or you could have information about your services, or you could have a little fun thing about how to mix a really tasty cocktail. And in the article, I wrote a little article here, and I described some friends who decided that they were going to go to a bar and order drinks by color. So they just told the bartender, bring me something yellow, bring me something red, bring us, a round of blue. It was a really bad idea, just a really bad idea. But you can read about it in the article. So, uh, yeah. So, and we also talked about the paid boost. Like that's you have some experience with Google ads. Do you want to talk a bit about that?
Yeah, Google Ads can be very effective. Um, if you can hone in on the zip codes that you want to hit, and then you can bring up and it's really you can make really simple ads. But the ones that seem to work best are the ones that have a picture, some kind of a picture, and then some wording, and then you can capture email addresses here as well. But you want, if for example, with an unliquor store, you can bring them right to your door with these ads. So and you brought up before the mailing list. This would be another thing. If you did a mailing, if you have a list of any kind, I don't care if it's 7 people or 100 people or whatever it is, and you mailed them every day for a week, on top of all the other things we're talking about here, it's just going to add all that much more to the overall promotional effect. Because when you hit them from all directions in a 7-day period, it's really maybe it's not hard for you to comprehend. Maybe it is, but it's just a mind-blowing effect that you can create in a minor 7-day period. You can actually bring a lot of people. If you started doing it the Saturday before you even opened, you'd have people there the very first day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you could do the lead up to the week, getting into your grand opening, just gets it everywhere, and that's what all the big advertisers, they do that a lot. They'll have some kind of Saturday special or something like Boxing Day or something like that. They're putting stuff out all over the place to get you to come into the store or buy things online.
A lot of times people aren't going to react to one message, but if you hit them continually, and you don't want to do it on all of these things every day forever, but in the first 7 days, it would kick this thing off big time. And then after that, you can decide, you would take each application and decide how often you wanted to post or get your image up on it or get your video up on it. But these are all things that Greg and I can help you with.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to not do this.
No, and we we can do it pretty fast. Like I actually, this idea for this thing is I applied to do a presentation at it was an online conference at Berkeley in California. And I thought I would present this, how to do it. What I thought is we could probably do it in a day. And then I thought, no, a day's not really reasonable, but you can do it in a week.
Yes.
And my joke was going to be, but if you're a large company, it might take you a year. It's kind of like people we have some people that we've advised on this, and they've decided they wanted to do it, and they still haven't done it, and they don't seem to understand what they're missing out by not doing it.
If you have to go through too many committees, it's going to take a long time.
Yeah. No, you can't do things by committee, and that's what it's almost, things get lost. Like that's my preference is to work with a decision maker. Yeah, right. The small company, and they just say, well, they just go do it. And we certainly teach people how to do all of this stuff, but when it comes down to it, you're probably better off to get us to work on it. As far as the content goes, Betty Withrow couldn't make it today. She's our other collaborator, and she's especially, what we would do is, if you wanted to learn more about it, make an appointment with us, and you'll just explain what you're trying to do, and we'll see what we can do and come up with a strategy for this. But I think really, I don't know that there isn't a company. I don't think there's a company that this does not help. I really can't, whether you're a brick and mortar company or you're online or a hybrid between the two, this is going to help. Or even, if you're just going to have some kind of one-time event, this will work for a one-time event. If you're going to have
and if
yeah.
you're brand new, or you've been around for 10 years, or you've been around for 15 years, this is going to work for everybody.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so if you want to go visit totaltrafficandconversion.com, launch your business, and you can, you may have been in business for 20 years, but you can relaunch it. It's a launch and relaunch.
That's it. Yeah.
And you're constantly launching your business anyway on a daily basis. And this is one thing. We can take a look at where you're at now. We do one of the things we do is a review. We'll take a look at your website, your social media, your YouTube channel. And our experience is that most people are doing, let's say there are 5 things we suggest. They might be doing 2 of them okay. But it's just, as you said later, is by doing them all in a consistent way, there's a synergy and it builds up momentum, and it just, you end up being, when people pick up their phone, they're looking for something, and your shop pops up, your business pops up, or if they're searching online, then all of a sudden, like with this Merit unliquor store, then you end up with 3 or 4 posts and a couple of recipes and stuff, and says, wow, those guys seem to know what they're doing. That's after the first week. So,
yeah,
really. And if you just do it you said you may not want to do it every day. I probably we offer a monthly thing and keep on going for a month, and then after that maybe a retainer, or you just in place. Once you got all the infrastructure in place, it's not that hard. There are tools to make it pretty easy. You write an article, write a post, put it out. We use StreamYard to put things out on various platforms, including LinkedIn and YouTube and Twitter, even X, and could go to Instagram. Instagram's a little trickier. And then I have another tool called Meet Edgar, where I can put it out to a whole pile of places, including TikTok. And so you really come up with an idea, I would say one a day, or I would say probably 3 a week anyway is sustainable, and just keep on doing it every week, just as a habit. You've got a new feature, new how-to, new fun event, or whatever it is you're doing, just put it out 3 times a week and keep on going, and it'll pay dividends.
Yeah, one thing, a local business wants to become the authority for what they do. This is what Google measures you for.
Yeah.
If they consider you the authority in Merit, the authority for unalcoholic drinks, if you become the authority for that, well, first you become the authority in Merit, and then towns around Merit, and then, as far away as an hour away, and things like that. It just kind of grows slowly, but maybe plenty quickly for what you're trying to do. And you'll just get more and more people aware of what you do, because Google will, a lot of times, and it's not just Google, but I'm most familiar with Google, they will help you grow this, because they're looking for authorities for each different concept, for each different niche.
Yeah, for each different niche. And in my experience, like the Microsoft Bing search engine, it's got to be a lot better, because now it's AI driven.
Right.
And I look there and I find, because we are putting all of our focus on Google, but Microsoft, they're not so dumb. They just seem to be picking up all this stuff, and it shows up in the listings there too. So I was wondering if we needed to pay more attention, but I think Microsoft just picks it up automatically. But
the other thing is, it's good to concentrate on Bing, because every PC that goes out that uses Windows automatically has an operating system that uses Edge, or something that uses the Bing search engine. and therefore, if you don't go in like I do, and Greg does, and many people do, and decide to use Google, it automatically uses Edge or
Yeah.
something else. And so therefore, if you don't optimize for that operating system, then you're going to miss out on some
Yeah.
traffic too.
Yeah.
So,
And many people don't know how to switch. They just use the defaults. Same with like on an Apple iPhone. I installed the Google Maps app and deliberately used it but many people won't. They'll just use, oh, there's the maps. So they don't even know who provided the maps.
that's right.
And
Absolutely.
when Apple Maps come out, it was pretty sad, but it's actually pretty good. In some ways, I like some of the features better than Google Maps. But they each have their strength. Google does stuff that Apple Maps just simply doesn't do.
Yeah, and vice versa.
Yeah, and
But
vice versa. Yeah.
but the thing that's important is sooner or later, preferably sooner, you're going to understand who your ideal prospect is, who you actually want to have come through your doors, or who you actually want to present your message in front of so that they will actually buy what you're offering. And when you know that person, and you can make it as if it's one person. And where does that person like to go? And you want to make sure that your message is there. It's good to put it everywhere, but it's once you realize where they're going to be, because after a while, you're probably only going to hone in on your ideal prospects.
Yeah.
And so if you know where they hang out,
Yeah.
you want to make sure your message is there, and maybe there more often than everywhere else.
Yeah. And that's where the paid advertising can come in, because you could do all sorts of criteria. You could target people who visit the websites of your competitors, or or as you said, like in the terms of this Merit store here, we're going to limit it to the Merit area, maybe the region, but we're going to start focusing on Merit, and so you could have you're not going to send well, actually you could, because it's non-alcoholic. You could send it to the kids, but mostly, you're going to target young adults, maybe. You might have something that caters to seniors, so you're going to be looking for 50 plus, and you're not going to spend money sending it to 18-year-olds, right? And maybe your thing is mostly women or mostly men, so you can adjust it so you're paying for the ads for your post to be put in front of the people who are your ideal audience. And that's and that, again, that comes back to the very first thing you said about is the keywords and the descriptions, and all that stuff contributes to attracting your right people into your world and coming into the door, either buying something from you or coming into the shop to check it out.
Yeah, you brought up paid advertising, and this is something that you can waste a lot of money in this, but you can, if you're talking to Greg and me, we can help you save a lot of money on this by really only advertising in a manner that's very cost effective and gives you a good return on your investment, because there are a lot of good ways to do it, but every niche has a different way that's the most effective. And we can take you right to the most effective and save you a lot of time and trouble and money.
Yeah.
And get you off to a quicker start. Also, if you do advertise on Google, then Google gives you more free visitors as well.
Yeah.
So, you can play that card too. That's probably the same thing with Facebook and LinkedIn. But at any rate, if you talk to us about what you really want to have happen, what do you want to have happen in the next 7 days?
Yeah.
We can put together something that will be very effective for you. We'd love to do that, and we'd love you to be really happy with it. And then you might decide to have us work with you on some kind of a basis thereafter. But let's just get you off to a good start.
Yeah, we just start off with a discussion, where you're at and where do you want to go, and we can help. In the very least, we can give you some ideas that you can go out and implement yourself. We're available to help you with these things. let's just have a chat. Like there's, if you go visit the website, there are various places on the website to book an appointment. And also, if you're watching this on LinkedIn or Facebook or wherever, you can send us a text message, send an email. Some of you might have got an email from me because I did send out a note to my list today. And let's have a conversation.
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn every day, so that's a really good way to get a hold of me. But you can also, send me an email, whatever. But LinkedIn is the fastest way because I'll see it quickly and can respond to you quickly. So.
Yeah, no, LinkedIn is really good because I generally get it like on my phone or online. I get a little notice that somebody's contacted me, and I think it also will send an email too that somebody sent me a message. So it's a pretty good platform for that, and I really have just started to use the features of it. It's the same with anything. Facebook has stuff, Instagram has stuff. Anyway, but if you want to start your journey, contact us, and we'll try to have some fun with it.
We'd love to.
Yeah. All right. So who are you going to call? Roy and Greg.
There you go. You won't go wrong.
Yeah, you won't go wrong. There we go. All right. So I guess we can let people go on and enjoy their Friday. And I'm sure there's some people on this list who are not interested in non-alcoholic cocktails, but it's probably happy hour.
Pretty close to it, if not.
Pretty close to it.
Yeah, some happy hours start at 4 Eastern time, and it's after that. So,
I worked for a company one time. We were doing helium recovery systems, and the guy who's running it, he says, "Thou shalt not do anything dangerous on a Friday afternoon." So at about 3:00, we shut it down and brought the beer out.
That solves that problem.
Yeah, that solves that problem. Yeah, because there's a lot of bad stuff happens late on the day on Fridays, I think. So it's better not to stay away from anything dangerous, right?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, thank you all for joining, and reach out, book an appointment with us. We'll see if we can help launch you here.
Yeah, we would love to talk with you, and we'll give you some great ideas. If you don't want to work with us, that's fine. Let's just talk about it and get you off to a good start.
Awesome. Okay, and I think we have to be complete here, and we have to run our little video.
All right.
If I can get to it. All right. Happy Friday, everyone.